There's something a little magical about fall, the scent of wood smoke, the rustle of leaves, and the promise of sweet, sticky things to come. Caramel apples aren't just a treat, they're a tradition. From haunted hayrides to school fairs, they've been lighting up autumn smiles for generations. Whether you're hosting a Halloween bash, filling trick-or-treat baskets, or just craving a cozy bit of nostalgia, this old-fashioned version is a must. Glossy, golden, and wickedly good. Hello my friends and fellow Apollonians, welcome back to Apollo's Diner. I'm your host Apollo Jupiter, and today we're making one of the most iconic autumn treats of all time. Caramel apples. Sweet, glossy, and full of cozy nostalgia. They've been stealing the spotlight at fall gatherings for decades. Legend has it they first appeared in the 1950s when a craft candy maker dipped a few apples into leftover caramel. The happy accident was such a hit that it quickly became a seasonal favorite, from school fairs to Halloween parties. So let's get started! First, let's get our apples ready for the caramel coat. We'll start by soaking the apples in very hot water for a few seconds. Not boiling, but hot enough to loosen any wax coating. Then give each apple a good rub with a clean cloth. That wax is the number one reason caramel refuses to stick. If it's still on there, your caramel will slide off like it's got somewhere better to be. Once they're squeaky clean, insert some wooden sticks like apple sticks or even shashlik skewers right through the stem end. You want them nice and snug, like a candy apple lollipop. Now here's a little trick. Chill the apples in the fridge while we make the caramel. Cold apples help the caramel set faster and cling better. Plus it gives us a bit of breathing room once things get sticky. Now let's make some magic, the sticky golden kind. This batch is perfect for about 3 to 5 medium apples depending on size. But don't worry, it scales up beautifully if you're cooking for a crowd. Just make sure to use a bigger pot if you double up. I'm using a tall milk pot here. It works beautifully for small batches and keeps the caramel from bubbling over. But if you're scaling this up or working over higher heat, a small heavy-bottomed saucepan will give you a little more control. So into our pot goes 1 cup or about 200 grams of granulated sugar, and a 1/4 cup or about 60 milliliters of water. Give the pan a little swirl to combine, but don't stir. Set it over medium heat and let it bubble away gently. Here's the part where you channel your inner sugar whisperer, so no stirring. It knows what to do, just let it do its thing. After a few minutes, the sugar will slowly start to change color, from clear to golden to a nice amber. That's when things start getting exciting. But if it starts smelling like a campfire, you've gone too far. Unless you're into that kind of thing. Keep those spoons out. That's how you keep it smooth and glossy. Now if you see sugar crystals creeping up the sides, don't panic. Just take a silicone or candy brush, dip it in water, and give the sides a quick little rinse down a few times. That's an old school trick that works like a charm. Once it reaches that beautiful slight amber color, take it off the heat and slowly, and I do mean slowly, pour in 3/4 cup or 175 milliliters of heavy cream. Make sure it's at room temperature or you'll create a little sugar explosion. And heads up, depending on your cream's temperature, it might bubble up like something out of a 1950s sci-fi movie. If that happens, that's caramel drama for you. Just stir gently and enjoy the show. Next in goes 2 tablespoons or about 30 grams of unsalted butter and 1 tablespoon of golden syrup or even honey if you're feeling very classic. Half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and just a pinch of salt. Now we return the pan to medium-low heat and stir until everything melts together into that glossy golden dream. Now let it simmer for about 4 to 6 minutes until it bubbles and thickens slightly. We're aiming for the higher end of what candy makers call the softball stage. That's 235 to 240 degrees Fahrenheit or about 113 to 115 degrees Celsius. To reach that stage, you might have to adjust the temperature a few times. And here's a tip from me to you. Better go all the way to 150 degrees Celsius or 240 degrees Fahrenheit. If you stop Too early, you risk ending up with caramel that's just a little too clingy, like that one cousin at the Halloween party.
Hello.
Now, if you've got a candy thermometer, this part's a breeze. But if not, don't worry, just do it the old-fashioned way. Drop a bit into cold water. If it forms a soft, squishy ball that holds its shape, you're good to go. We're at the right temperature now, so it's time to take it off the heat and let it catch some well-deserved rest. Let the caramel cool down for at least 5 minutes or until it reaches about 90 degrees Celsius or 195 degrees Fahrenheit. This is where it goes from lava to luscious. Alright, our caramel has cooled down just enough and the apples are chilled and ready for their big moment. Tilt the pan if needed and then, one by one, dip each apple straight down into the pot. Turn it slowly to coat all the sides, then lift it up and hold it upside down for a few seconds to let the excess drip off and the caramel set. If there's way too much pooling at the bottom, you can carefully scrape a bit off on the edge of the pan. Just a little trim, diner style. And if you're planning to add toppings, now's the moment, while the caramel is still warm and tacky. You can roll them in crushed peanuts or hazelnuts, finely chopped cornflakes, yes, that was a thing, or go full retro with shredded coconut or Halloween nonpareils. Once coated, place the apples on a tray lined with buttered parchment, wax paper, or a silicone mat. Trust me, skip the bare plate unless you want to chisel them off later or risk ripping the coating apart. If you'd like, you can still get creative while the caramel is cooling. Maybe add a few candy eyes, a spiderweb wafer, or even some licorice legs. Don't be afraid to have fun with your Halloween-inspired ideas. There's no such thing as too spooky unless your apple starts whispering. Now all that's left is to let them cool completely for a few hours, and you've got yourself a picture-perfect vintage caramel apple ready for your fall fair, Halloween party, or just a quiet evening with sticky fingers and good memories. One last little tip. If they do stick to the mat a bit, don't rip them straight up. Use a small knife to gently lift them from underneath and you'll keep that glossy caramel coat looking flawless. Amazing. And there we have it, glossy golden caramel apples just like the ones that lit up autumn fairs and Halloween parties back in the day. A little messy, a little nostalgic, and completely worth it. If you enjoyed this recipe, please don't forget to give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more vintage-inspired cooking and crafts. Thank you so much for spending time with me here at Apaulo's Diner. And if you'd like a little more spooky season fun, check out my radioactive eyeball jelly, one of the very first videos on this channel, and still one of the most delightfully eerie. Until next time, my dear friends and fellow Apolonians, I'm wishing you warmth, joy, and a touch of spooky fun this season. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.